Hello, I'm Libby Dyson from LibbyStamps.com, and today we're going to make this card and use the thumping technique with Stampin Write Markers. So I've used it on the background here. I've also used it on some of the leaves I've added here, and I've used it on the inside. And if you put the envelope and the insert together, you get whole leaves. So we're going to make that today. Now, I'm using the limited edition Blended Seasons Clear Mount stamp set with the Stitch Seasons framelets. Now, these are just beautiful. I'll just show you with this one. It stitches on the outside and the inside. So on your card, you'll be able to see it stitches on the inside of the frame. And this is the card front I cut out, and it's got stitching as well. You can also use these framelets with the new embossing mats. So cut your die out, flip it over with your, pretend this is your plate. So you've got your clear plate, you've got your card under there, flip it over, put your grey mat on, put the white plate on, run it through, and it gives like, I don't know if you can see it on here, but it puffs up the framelet or the piece that you've cut out. We're going to make a similar card, and we'll go through and I'll show you how I did this thumping technique. So I'm just going to, I've got spare leaves here, so I don't need to cut them out. And I'm just going to load up the thank you and the leaves. And I'll leave that open so that we can come back to that. Now, our card front is 14.9 centimetres by 21 centimetres, or 5.5 by 4 1/4, scored and folded at 10.5 or 4 1/4. And then I've already got my framelit cut out, so this is why this one's going to be a little different. And this piece measures 14.4 centimetres by 10 centimetres, or 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches. Now, because I've already got a lot of the elements for the card made, I'll show you the thumping technique by doing the insert and the envelope. So this is my quick way of doing it, and I'll bring my leaves in that I've mounted on my clear block, and I've got Granny Apple Green, Cajun Craze and Tranquil Tide here, and I use the felt tip end, and I'm putting Granny Apple Green basically on the tips of the leaves, just like that. So you're sort of thumping the colour on, and you can buy all these products in my online store. Go to libbystamps.com, click on the shop button, and you'll be able to buy these products there. It's called Blended Season, and I'm using the Clear Mount bundle. I choose to use Clear Mount because then I can use it with my Stamparatus as well. Alright, I'm coming in now with Cajun Craze, and I'm going to do sort of the middle of the leaves with that. And if you start with your lightest colour, go to your darkest colour. It doesn't matter if your dark colour picks up some of the other colours as you go. So I think that's pretty good. And we'll now come in with Tranquil Tide, do basically the base of the leaves. This technique gives you a lovely autumn sort of tonings when you stamp. Alright, then we give it a huff and stamp down. So that's basically how you do that technique. Now that's the inside of the card and the envelope done. Now I'm going to put this on the front of the card, but I've decided I want some of these leaves on the inside here. So turn your piece of card over, and you can use washi tape if you want, or you can just hold it. and you're going to come in again and do the same again. So just add colour to your leaves by thumping on your colour with your Stampin Write marker. Now if this is something you think you'd like to do, earn a little bit extra to pay for your paper craft habit, join my team. It's, you always get 20% off. Who doesn't like a bargain like that? So well worth it. Message me, leave a comment, and I'll get back to you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I always answer the comments. I always put a reply. Huff. Alright, now I've turned this over. I'm just going to hold it and stamp down and then come in and do the same again. Did this with leaves and fussy cut them yesterday, so I've got all of those cut. The dies don't include cutting the leaves or the flowers, but they will cut individual leaves. I'll show you those in just a minute. Alright, so, and it really doesn't matter where you get the colour, just put it anywhere. The idea is just to have the stamps inked, and some of the ink will last a couple of stampings, so you'll get that generational look. Huff, down. Alright, that might about do us. I might see if I can get some generational stamping going here. Trying not to put the edge of the stamp down. Alright, so that's our stamping, and then you just flip that over and nobody would know. Alright, so we need some dimensionals, and I'm going to turn this over, and I'm actually using just leftover dimensionals at the moment. Make sure you use up all your dimensionals. And I'm going to put some around here so that it sticks up off the card and you get that sort of, you know, dimensional look to it, so that it's sort of not that flat looking. So I'm just really putting them where there's a point or on the framelit, and then the top, sides and bottoms. Then I might use some foam adhesive strip around the outside. I just do that to a bit more than halfway for the long ends of my card, and then I fold that roughly in half, snip again. I don't need a lot of foam adhesive strip on this one because I've put the dimensionals around the frame that we've cut out, but do put the foam adhesive strip away from the edge so it can't be seen when you look at the card. Okay, and then we just need to remove the backing. I wasn't sure whether, look, I've got this beautiful new ribbon trim, striped burlap trim. It's a sneak peek from the holiday catalogue. I might put that across there, I think. So I'll just trim a bit of that off, about there. It's got Merry Merlot, but it looks sort of autumnal, doesn't it? Now, my trick for these is to bring in your glue dots. Put a glue dot where you want the trim to go. So I'm just going to put one there and another one on the other side. Line my card up on my grid paper as best I can, and then put my trim down. Right, turn it over, the backing off the foam adhesive strip. Okay. Alright, now just to make sure that sticks properly, I'm coming in with my glue dots again, making a bit of a mess here. Okay, so we're going to put that down there. Okay, great. Now, while we've got the card here, we'll just stick the insert inside the card. And I do like my liquid glue. It gives me wiggle room and you don't need a lot of it. Once the inside of the card done, now we just need to do the sentiment and build up those leaves. Now the sentiment, for this card here, I did a strip and I just simply cut, I think it's 5 centimetres or 2 inches wide, and I just stamped along with the thumping technique. That gave me a strip which I just cut to size, and then all of these ones I've sponged around in crumb cake, but I'm not doing that on this one. What we need to do now is our sentiment piece. I'll come in with some Whisper White. So I'm going to use Cajun Craze on this one. This isn't a colour I use that often, but it's quite nice for this sort of autumn type card. Ink up and stamp down, I mean. Upside down, good on me. Just as well I have a punch. Now, I didn't know whether it might fit as well. Oh, yes, I can make that work. This is the Pretty Label Punch. This one I use the Everyday Label Punch. I might just sponge around that with some crumb cake, I think. Now, I cut my sponges into 6, and then I use a punch and just label it so that I've got them there for future reference. And I just sponge around that quickly. Takes that starkness off the white card. And yes, we've lost a little bit of the hue, but it doesn't matter. And then I bring in my craft silicone matte. Now what I'm going to do is build up these leaves. So actually no, what I'm going to do first is put some glue dots on here. Copper metallic thread here. Alright, so go around your hand a few times. It's really just a case of digging it down somehow. Edges till they go on the glue dot and hope for the best. Alright, if you haven't got your craft silicone matte, you need to get one because they're seriously good. Mine's covered in bits and pieces we might turn over, and they're good for your Stamparatus as well. Alright, so we need to build up these leaves, and I've got Cajun Craze and crushed curry. I've done the leaves in various ways. Some I've stamped in jet black stays on, and then I think that was one. No, that's a thumping one, I think. Alright, so some of them I've thumped and then just gone over with the aqua painter. The others I've stamped in jet black stays on, and I've coloured with watercolour pencils. So there's a thumping one. I'll bring that a bit closer. And then these ones here are watercolour pencils that I've just gone over. So what I need to do is work out where I'm going to put these leaves. So that one's nice there. So I'll put a glue dot on the leaf. Glue dot there, that on there. Then I might have orangey looking one. And the reason I use the craft silicone craft matte is so I can build it up and it's not going to stick to everything as I go. So I might try some yellowy ones down here, one down here. Alright, then we need some of these to go maybe in there. So then on the back I pop another glue dot, glues all that down. Alright, what do you think? And then maybe this yellowy coloured one in here and glue that one down. This way you're actually gluing your leaves down as you go, and you can turn it over and have a look, and it doesn't get stuck to your project if you use your craft silicone sheet. As I put some up here. Okay, so I'm going to flip that one over. So I want it right there. Turn it over, see if it looks alright. Yep, I'm happy with that. And come in with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And we're just going to add these liberally to the back. So the idea of today was to show you the thumping technique and how easy it is to do, and give you a few tips on using it and how to best place it. And that's going to come in about there. That also helps your metallic thread stick down, and we're done. This was the card I showed you initially from my blog post, and I've sponged all around the edge of the crumb cake in crumb cake, sponged all around the elements except for the leaves, and I've used the Everyday Label Punch. And then this is today's card where I haven't done any sponging, but we've stamped on the inside. Remember, we turned the card over so we could stamp. And then we've built that up there and sponged around and stamped in Cajun Craze. So that's today's card with Thumping on the inside and the envelope. We've used Blended Season, the double stamp set. It's got some beautiful images in it, lovely sentiments that you could use for any occasion. It's got some Christmas ones in there. You could use it for being grateful, Thanksgiving, congratulations, all those sorts of things. And then it comes with these wonderful framelits. Use the frames. Got to get on and use the other elements now. Alright, so thanks so much for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video. Thanks again. Bye for now.
Imagination, try to draw outside the line.